Can we kick off, perhaps just slightly change the subject? We raised this yesterday. I got a lot of discussion going about it. You want to talk about the Michaela School and the lawsuit that they're facing. Just explain what's going on there and why it's of interest to you.
Well, it's an appalling situation, Nick. You have a very high-performing school, which does, of course, have a reputation nationally as well as locally. Not least because of its head teacher being quite a crusading type.
This is Catherine Berbising, yeah?
Exactly. And they've made a sort of big play about the uniformity of the school. They're trying to do a one-school policy. For example, at meal times, they only serve non-meat so that anyone from any background can eat the same meal, basically, without worrying about religious dictums. And what's happened is they've always had there've been no sort of prayer spaces in the school. It's never bothered anyone. But recently, it appears that a Muslim pupil started praying in the playground. Others joined before you had a large number doing this. And then the school governors said, look, this doesn't fit into our uniformity of school approach. I imagine they're saying there are many other schools that you can join, including
She said it's sort of creating division,
yes,
if anything.
In that sort of way. And they've banned it, and they're now facing a lawsuit from the pupil, which is being funded, Nick, by legal aid.
I know, £150,000 they estimate. And the school are going to have to use public money to defend it.
So the state versus the state.
So let me ask you this. Is the answer to, if you like, ban, perhaps, religion, prayers from school? Religion, period. Every religion.
Well, I think the answer is that every school can make its own decision on this subject, basically. Isn't that the free approach to this? And if a school is known for its certain policy, and if you want your child to, pray 5 times a day or 3 times a day or 1 time, whatever it might be, then don't send them to that school. That's the answer. There are 100 schools that will cater for you. Exactly,
and you would have thought that they would, if the school have moved, because I think they did have a prayer room. What they've said is they found problems with it, they're changing it. Feel free to move, but there's a reason parents don't want to move, isn't there? Because they're doing so well, and yet this group are putting religion over results, which I find strikingly bizarre. It's wrong to me.
Well, it's deeply concerning, because once you start getting every single interest group coming forth saying, well, what about me, then you ruin the ability of a school to manage itself and to act in that way. And it's the inverse of how it should be. The school should decide, and parents go along with it, and if they don't like it, they've got the choice, the freedom to take their kids somewhere else. But it really is about, kind of making these very special conditions here. And I think what they've also said is the problem with it is that once you start this process, people who don't pray, who happen to be Muslims, get pressured into praying when they don't want to.
No, exactly.
Because they're regarded as being bad Muslims in this sort of respect.
And this is the problem, isn't it? It's actually having, as she said, it's the complete opposite of cohesion.